Good morning, Spinthusiasts. I am on my way to World Guard practice right now, but I wanted to get on here and say thank you so much, all of you who messaged me with your sympathies about our situation. And I want to address something because I think a lot of times the very first reaction that we have when something like this happens, those of you who don't know, we had someone who just quit our team out of nowhere, who's been, coming to clinics and rehearsals and everything and has a part in the show and what have you. Anyway, and I posted about an opening we have and this happens, this happens to every guard. I do not care what level you're at. This happens not just to every guard, but to every performing ensemble. This happens from high school teams all the way up through freaking New York City Broadway shows. That's why they have understudies, because they know this happens. The thing is, we're all human, I think our first reaction is generally one of anger, and this is definitely the first reaction I have whenever something like this happens. And that's the reaction as instructors we really need to just kind of turn our focus away from, because your anger doesn't solve any problems. So we really have to understand that and realize that that's not going to fix it. It is a feeling and it's very valid. These performers made a commitment, they've signed contracts, or they've, been at every rehearsal, they've got a spot in the show, and they are, all of a sudden, they're just not there and they're not doing their part for the team. It is angering. That is a valid response that you should have, a valid reaction. But the thing is, we need to overcome that reaction and we need to problem solve, especially in the moment, especially when you're in the middle of getting ready for your competition season the way that we are right now. So what you have to remember is that a lot of times we're working with teenagers, and I find two things with teenagers that happen really, really consistently. And this is why performers quit so much when they're teenagers. One is that they just do not understand the level of commitment that color guard takes. I promise you, we work harder than any school sport. And I'm not trying to say that just to be like macho about it or something. Whenever we sign up for our rehearsal spots in the gym, all of the school sports are looking at it and going, oh my gosh, what? But the thing is, that's what it takes. It takes a lot of rehearsal time. It takes a lot of things, because not only do we have to be physically fit working out, we also have to be artistically fit, and we have to be able to look beautiful. We have to have good technique. There's so many different levels. And a high school student, a middle school student, someone who's young does not necessarily understand that commitment because they've never had to do something like this before. A lot of times, especially, this usually happens with rookies. So a lot of times they just don't understand this really incredibly high level of commitment. And I will say, I have had performers quit on me. I have had performers not come back. I have had performers quit mid-season, and eventually, maybe they come back the next season. Maybe they come back 2 seasons from now, because we don't get angry at them. The second thing I find is that anger that we feel, if we act on it instead of trying to control it and funnel it into more productive reactions, that anger ends up driving other potential performers for future teams away. So I'm not angry. I know this is going to happen and it sucks. And those of you who are performers understand that when you commit to a team for the season, you commit for the season and you should not leave. Those of us who are instructors, though, we really have to find the best possible way we can not just react, but act. Have a plan in place just in case something like that happens, okay? We actually had someone who quit on our world team, and if you watch the vlogs, I don't want to call them out, but you'll see in the vlogs, because they obviously just stopped showing up. And what ends up happening with them is we ended up replacing them with a veteran member who was originally going to take the season off. So surprise coming your way. If you watch the vlogs, make sure you check that out. You'll see who it is, and you'll know if you've watched the vlogs for a long time, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I know that person. Like, and you'll be excited they're back, I hope, because we are very excited they're back, because yeah, love this person so much. And yeah, like I said, like, have a plan in place. We are super lucky that we could do that. Like, that is a very fortunate thing that we could replace this person so easily. We have not been this lucky with our A team. We have, like I said, we have a spot open up, and we have a position. And yeah, if you want to do it, or you know somebody who wants to do it, we are accepting people right now. Just send me a DM and we'll get you on the team, honestly, because we've learned about a third to a half of the show. We're getting close to that halfway point, and yeah, we're gonna finish learning it in January and go off to competitions at the end of January. So anyway, like I said, DM me, guys. Have a great time. I'm gonna go to rehearsal now. Stick with your team. Color guard is always so much more fun when you get to do it on a team. Bye.